gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into the video.
The man police say killed 3 people, then turning the gun on himself, has now died as well. Thanks for joining us here at 4 o'clock. I'm Cherie Palello.
And I'm Ashley Kirkland. This tragedy happened over the weekend in Mount Washington. WLWT News 5 anchor Chris Jacobs joins us as police reveal more on this murder-suicide here,
They're
Chris.
revealing more and still so many unanswered questions here. That suspect being identified today is 26-year-old Samuel Ericksen. Police tell...
Wow, so I know the video is grainy here, but we have a triple homicide ending in a self-deletion by this glider man, Samuel Ericksen. Apparently, he knew one of the victims and had romantic interest in that victim. Something went totally wrong in the relationship, and he completely crashed out. So we're going to hear about this story on this White Boy Wednesday, and it's not good.
Telling us he died after shooting himself. Now, Ericksen is accused of shooting and killing 3 people. They've been identified as 20-year-old Feven Adugna, 22-year-old Eden Adugna, and 27-year-old Bemnet Deresse. This all happened Saturday in Mount Washington on Beacon Street. When police got to the scene, Deresse and one of the women had already died. The other woman, along with Ericksen, were taken to the hospital where they both later died. We're told Feven and Eden were sisters who both worked as pharmacy technicians for Good Sam Hospital.
Dang, so they were pharmacy techs contributing to society. And this is the Ethiopian community who were hit hard in this series of murders, triple homicide. God, I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. The violence in this country is only heating up amongst all groups, all demographics. And you guys know that we have an emphasis and focus on the community. But, people send me stories like this and I have to cover them. And it's just heart-wrenching every time.
Both of them were studying medicine and were nearly done with med school at UC. Bemnet had just graduated from UC and received a new job. Now, police have not released any other information about a potential motive. We will keep you updated as we learn more. Chris Jacobs, WLWT News 5.
Developing this evening, we've now learned the man who police say shot and killed 3 people in Mount Washington this past weekend has also now died. So 2 of the victims were sisters. WLWT News 5's anchor Chris Jacobs here now with the update. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, hey, Cherie. So that suspected gunman was identified by police as 26-year-old Samuel Ericksen. They say he killed himself after he shot 3 others. Ericksen was initially hospitalized in critical condition. Now, we're also learning from police that Ericksen knew at least one of the victims and had a romantic interest in one of them. Police say they're not investigating this as a hate crime. So this happened on Sunday afternoon on Beacon Street in Mount Washington. CPD says Ericksen shot and killed Bemnet Deresse, Eden Adugna, and Feven Adugna. When police got there, Bemnet and one of the women were already dead. The other woman, along with Ericksen, were taken to the hospital where they both later died. We're told Feven and Eden were sisters who both worked as pharmacy technicians for Good Sam Hospital. TriHealth telling WLWT they were cherished members of the hospital team, and posts on social media say Bemnet worked at a store on Montana Avenue. So what led up to this shooting is still unclear. We will keep you updated as we learn more information. Chris Jacobs, WLWT News 5.
Everybody was shocked. Some of the people I talked to were shaking. I was very shaken up also when I heard. I had to sit down for a while before I even told my wife, because it's impossible.
Continue our coverage of the triple homicide in Mount Washington over the holiday weekend. Police say a gunman shot and killed 3 people at an apartment building before turning the gun on himself. Officers confirmed the gunman was still in critical condition yesterday. Brenda Ordonez joins us live with more.
Trisha, yeah, we're right now outside of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church here on Marlowe Avenue in College Hill. This is where friends, family, and community members have been gathering ever since that incident to pray and offer their support for the lives of these 3 victims who were members of this church.
There are people basically crying their eyes out for them. Those who know them as very polite, well-mannered.
And hardworking. Community leader Araya Amsalu says the victims of a triple homicide in Mount Washington were Ethiopian immigrants whose hard work was finally paying off.
To see somebody that young just getting ready to start their life and it be cut short, it's been just emotional the last 2 days.
Cincinnati police confirmed.
Yeah, man. And this is unfortunately something that's occurring over and over again in this country. We really do have a huge crime issue, murder issue, mental health, whatever you want to call it. And it's just not being addressed in the way that it should be, because it's a huge problem. And now you have 3 innocent people who are killed who were doing the right thing, and you know, it's completely over for them now.
Bemnet Deresse and sisters Aiden and Feven Adugna were gunned down Sunday afternoon at an apartment. Who say they saw the gunman circling the apartment before the crime.
I went over and asked him, was he okay? And he said yes, he was, well, I mean, he was not unfriendly. My dog went up to him and he played with the dog for a second. And I said, well, you got a friend for life. And he said, no, maybe for a minute. And then he said, you can go now.
Wow.
Police say the gunman turned the gun on himself after the shooting. Police have not announced a motive or how or even if the victims knew the suspect.
Right now, we just want answers. You know what I mean? Like, we get answers, that's a start.
Jay Raj was friends with Bemnet Deresse.
Said he was real calm, had a real calm demeanor, sweet guy, intelligent.
Deresse graduated in 2023 from UC. In part, Bemnet was a family man and a God-fearing man who would do anything for his loved one. He was excited for. He came to America for better education and opportunity. TriHealth confirmed the Adugna sisters worked at their hospital. Amsalu says they were pharmacy technicians who loved helping people.
They always see them being working hard, doing what is needed from them, and also always being polite and respectful.
Amsalu says having no answers as to why this happened is causing concern among their community.
We are all looking at them, these 3 young people, as our own sons and children. That's the shock we are seeing. So everybody say, how do we protect our children?
Yeah, so community members, they're working on setting up a GoFundMe to help pay for the funeral expenses for all 3 of these victims. Any community members that would like to help come pay their respects are invited to this church this evening as well as tomorrow evening. We did reach out to Cincinnati police for an update on that suspect and the investigation, and we're still waiting to hear back. For now, in College Hill with photojournalist Brenda Ordonez, Fox 19 Now.
Cincinnati's Ethiopian community is in mourning and searching for answers after 3 people were shot and killed in Mount Washington.
An elder says that all 3 belong to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in College Hill. Local 12's Chris Arnold shows how their community is dealing with the tragedy.
His name is Bemnet Deresse. The young ladies is Feven Adugna and Feven Adugna.
Araya Amsalu says all 3 were well known in the Ethiopian community.
Bemnet, who has been here longest, he has been here about 5 years, I think 6 years. He came in to go to college, so his aunt lives here, and his mom comes frequently. The young ladies came in to go to school, and they are closer with the young people.
The Adugnas worked at Good Samaritan Hospital.
Well-mannered, well-disciplined, very hardworking, nice ladies.
Which is why he and others were not only shocked, but devastated to see what happened on Sunday. All 3 were found shot inside a Mount Washington home. 2 died at the scene, and one of the women died at the hospital.
I mean, 3 at a time. People are looking at this and saying 3. Yeah, 1 is a lot.
Well, Salu tells me that the Ethiopian community here is small, with only about 3,000 people. He says they're very tight-knit and calls this tragedy the worst his community has seen in almost his 30 years here.
In our culture, see, the main thing is this event, the mourning process, is something that needed to be handled by friends and relatives.
Salu touched on the pain the entire community is feeling.
As a community, there is a lot of fear. It's just, this happened. It could be my daughter next. This could be my son next. That's what people are thinking about.
As they try to process the deaths of Deresse and the Adugnas, he spoke about where the Ethiopian community goes from here.
The biggest thing is the healing process starts normally after the funeral. The other thing is we are trying to extract what lessons do we learn from the situation. Is there anything we can do to our young people, to protect our young people?
In College Hill, Chris Arnold, Local 12 News.
And police have not identified the 4th person or released details on the shooter.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Janquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Triple homicide in Mount Washington has shaken the quiet neighborhood. 3 dead, another person injured, and police say that person is the suspected shooter. It all happened yesterday afternoon on Beacon Street. Officers told us it unfolded both inside and outside of a home. And tonight, the victims have been identified. But police are still working to understand how they may have been connected to their suspected gunman. Tonight, Connor Steffen's in the neighborhood now for a second day. You were talking to neighbors out there, Connor. What did you learn today?
Yeah, Adrian, I've been covering this investigation for the past 24 hours. We are learning some new information about the victims today, but a lot of what we're learning comes from neighbors who sat and watched on stunned yesterday for hours. As a traumatic scene,
it was pretty chaotic.
Becomes ingrained into memory.
Everything becomes unreal. You can't quite absorb it.
Homeowners in this Mount Washington neighborhood are grappling with what they've seen.
It was a very strange day.
Leaves a mark. For sure.
According to police, a man shot and killed 3 people at this apartment building on Sunday. It happened both inside and outside of the residence. 2 died at the scene, another later at the hospital. 27-year-old Bemnet Deresse, 22-year-old Feven Adugna, and 20-year-old Feven Adugna.
It felt like time stopped. Everything stopped. You knew something bad happened.
Police say the shooter, who hasn't been identified yet, then attempted to take his own life. He remains critically injured at UC Medical Center.
Something so profound happened, lives were lost, and now it's quiet, and it's just sad.
Lisa Dusing and Brad Lark were watching what happened from across the street.
We could see exactly what was going on. We were kind of keeping our neighbors informed so that their curiosity didn't get the best of them. And
that perspective came at a cost.
It just burns into my memory, actually seeing a young person wheeled out on a gurney, slumped over, and thinking, oh no.
The next thing I saw was the police officer was doing chest compressions on one of the women.
Doug Matthews also saw something he wished he didn't.
Think I've processed it entirely. The whole world changed for the victims entirely. And
he told us about a moment that stuck with him from before the shooting while walking his dog, when he came across a young man in the apartment building's parking lot.
He petted the dog, and I said, well, you got a friend for life. And he said, no, maybe for a minute. And then he said, you can go now.
We've also since learned the 2 female victims, Eden and Feven Adugna, worked for Good Samaritan Hospital. In a statement, a trial spokesperson called them cherished team members. Quote, their dedication and spirit touched everyone who worked alongside them. Our thoughts are with their families and loved ones during this difficult time.
At this time, police are still working to piece together exactly how the shooting unfolded. We're also waiting for an update on how, if at all, these 4 people knew each other. We're live in Mount Washington. Connor Steffen, WCPO 9 News.
First time we are hearing from the relatives of the people killed in the triple homicide in Mount Washington. Jessica Schmidt's at the alert desk with a new statement.
So for some background on this, Cincinnati police believe that 26-year-old Samuel Ericksen shot and killed 3 people on Sunday afternoon, then ultimately took his own life. Police have identified the victims as 27-year-old Bemnet Deresse and the sisters you're seeing now, 22-year-old Eden and then 20-year-old Feven Adugna. Now, police have not shared a lot of details about the deadly shooting, but did say that Ericksen had some sort of romantic relationship with one of the victims. Now, though, for the first time, we are hearing from their families through some written statements. Feven and Eden's relatives say the sisters were born in Ethiopia, and when they were young, they lost their mother due to senseless violence at the hands of their father. The family says from that moment on, the two were raised by their grandmother and aunt and moved to the U.S. in 2018 in search of a brighter future. The statement also says, quote, "Our hearts are broken beyond repair. Feven and Eden were a source of immense joy, love, and light in our family. Their names meant light and paradise, and they lived up to those meanings every day of their lives." Now, in a statement from Deresse's family, they say that he was an educated family man who was always at home with family members or friends. Also writing, quote, "We are heartbroken, we are angry, we need more answers from CPD. Why didn't the police take it serious when police reports were made by the girls about that man harassing her?" Now, we have not had a chance to speak with police about that part of the statement, but again, we do know there was some sort of a romantic relationship. Now, there is a GoFundMe page that's up right now and is raising money to support the development of a kidney dialysis center in Ethiopia. Family members say they want to build that there in Deresse's honor. At the alert desk, Jessica Schmidt, Fox 19 Now.
All right, now here at 11, dozens of people mourn the deaths of 3 young people shot and killed in Mount Washington in late August. WCPO 9 News reporter Sean Delancey tells us more about their stories and how they'll be remembered.
Hymns sung in the Ethiopian Amharic language. For 3 young lives taken in a shooting in Mount Washington. The songs came after their friends and family built this memorial through racking sobs. That sound broken by a deafening moment of silence.
I still ask myself why. Why?
Eyewitness Adugna reflected on bringing his nieces Aiden and Feven to America when they were 7 and 9, watching them cross the ocean in a plane to a better life.
I saw excitement.
And that's crazy, man. Immigrants, looks like they were doing it the right way, trying to make a better life for themselves, only to be gunned down by this lunatic super glider gremlin on demon time.
I saw hope.
Those hopes, he said, now lay in caskets in a funeral home.
Those 2 lights, the dreams, are all in a casket next door, next room. That I can't even see. I asked myself, why?
Bemnet Deresse's families and friends remembered him as a helpful young man who wanted to learn in America and use those skills to help his Ethiopian home country. His little sister, Soliana Abebe, says she'll miss him.
He was telling me that, like, when I grow up, he'll buy me a car and stuff. And I was really happy for him when he graduated. And when I was younger, I was really attached to him. And I love him.
The person accused of shooting these 3 shot himself and later died. Soliana wanted us to deliver a message no child should have to say.
Gun violence should stop, and it should stop. It really should stop.
Ethiopian Association President Ezekiel Iskander says that the whole community is mourning. This vigil, just the beginning of a long healing process.
We are close-knit community, so we'll do our best.
He says song is an important thing linking Ethiopians. Through that, he says, they will persevere. In Mount Washington, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News.
Washington tonight, family and friends remembering 3 young medical students who died in a murder-suicide.
An emotional gathering just outside the Beacon Street apartment complex where that tragedy happened just 9 days ago. And News 5's Daisy Kershaw live for us now with how their memories are being honored tonight. Daisy?
Mike, 20-year-old Feven Adugna, 22-year-old Eyewitness, and 27-year-old Bemnet Deresse were all born in Ethiopia and raised here in the United States. They were beloved members of the Ethiopian community here in Cincinnati, and tonight members of their church, family, and friends, neighbors too, filled this area here outside their apartment complex to mourn their loss. On Beacon Street, in the same place where 3 young lives were taken, friends and family gathered, praying for peace, for comfort, and for answers. On August 31st, sisters Feven and Eyewitness Adugna and their friend Bemnet Deresse were shot and killed at the girls' apartment. The gunman died days later after police say he shot himself.
We have questions. How, in the middle of beautiful America, look, how come this tragedy happens here, and why?
Nagash Adugna moved his nieces Feven and Eyewitness to America for a better life. He says their mother was killed by their father back in Ethiopia, so he raised them as his own. Nagash says he was proud to see the girls dedicate themselves to their studies and to their work as pharmacy technicians at Good Samaritan Hospital.
The bond between them has to be strong. They always stayed together, they died together.
As the unimaginable pain of 3 stolen futures weighs heavy on hearts here. The memory of the good all 3 of them brought to this world is a light in the darkness. From Bemnet's kindness and passion for biology and biochemical engineering.
He was funny. He really wanted to help people in Ethiopia, and he was a great guy.
To the joy and laughter Feven and Eyewitness filled every room with. That's what loved ones are holding on to. As the investigation continues, the girl's uncle told me tonight that in the months leading up to the shooting, Eden had reported the gunman to police. He says that, of course, they are trusting and waiting on the process with detectives as they continue to search for answers. Police have confirmed to us that the gunman knew at least one of the victims and that there was a romantic interest. Reporting live tonight in Mount Washington, Daisy Kershaw, WLWT News 5.
Gang violence